Welcome to the War and Waste Academy. Do you want to be a winner? Well, if you do, you might want to listen in to the Lynn and Craig talk about 567 problem solving and how it leads to high ROI solutions. Here's Lynn.
I'd like to talk briefly about a tool that we've developed around 30 years ago to help modify behavior of teams and individuals within the team, but focusing on the team as the goal rather than the individual. Personally, I don't believe in intervention as a way to do anything about that, but as a last resort. But we had great results using uh, this approach to getting the results to get everybody on the same page and moving together as a team to achieve a common goal. It started in a class when employees in that class said, well, we got a problem with the truck leaving late. And of course, there was smirks going on, and I didn't pick up on that. But it turns out we put up the yes-no chart as a way to say, did the truck leave on time, yes or no? It's tied, of course, to no blame because you don't want to blame people for being responsible for creating an X up on the chart. Red X is no, green zero is yes. Everything's honky-dory, so you just measure it. It's no blame. Report on this data, report what it is. Don't get flipped out over anything else, just report. So I was walking around with the CEO, and we came across the back where the trucks left to do most of, the trucks came up and they loaded them up and did distribution. In the particular case of their company truck, had to make a run down to South Peninsula in the Bay Area, and the truck was leaving late all the time. It wasn't leaving until 9:30, 10. And if it did left at that time, there was a lot of overtime. So the CEO asked me about it, and I told him the truck wasn't leaving on time. And he said, well, why is that? And I said, well, it turns out it's your son. He's not getting up on time into the office here. It's 6:37 to be able to do the inspection on parts that are leaving at 9. And so he said, well, I'll fix that. And the next day we had a green zero, and forever the green zero stayed on the chart, except for maybe exceptions a couple of months down the road. But it's a very powerful tool. But we got to use it to quite a few different other applications, and this one is one of my favorite. This is a company that was a subsidiary of a very large company, Fortune 100 company, and they couldn't ship orders on time. They were small business, $5 million in sales. They shipped about 300 orders per day, and they couldn't ship any of them on time. They didn't have that many customers. They only had 9 or 10 customers. They accounted for roughly 95% of their orders going out the door, and they couldn't ship on time. And of course, that's really bad. So when we first put this up, one of the, we'll call him less than sterling character, was saying, my God, if we can't ship anything on time, how do we have any customers? And the CEO of this little business was in the room at the time, and he goes, wow, if he thinks we're bad, we're bad. So anyway, we put the chart up, and after 14 days, we had 14 red X's. We hadn't shipped any of the orders. We hadn't completed a day without shipping 1 or 2 orders late. But we were getting better. But this chart doesn't tell you that. All it says, you either did or you didn't. So whether you went from 50 orders late on day 1 and 3 orders late on day 14, it doesn't tell you that, and we don't care. Because it doesn't make any difference whether you have 10 orders late or 20 orders. They're late. No blame. So on the 15th day, they got all the orders on time. And it was a remarkable accomplishment, and the CEO recognized it when he came in and saw it on Monday. Of course, the agreement was that if they could get a whole day without any orders late, they would get pizza. So they got pizza that day on Monday, the 29th of September. Pretty good deal. But he went in and he wasn't sure that was right. And he found, of course, the guy on the dock was a smart guy. He saw this, shoot, we've got all but 1 order was late. So he just moved it to Monday. And it was late on Monday, as you can see. And the CEO said, oh, that's cheating. And the guy said, well, you didn't put up there that you couldn't cheat. But they cheated and won. And then he said, okay, you don't get the pizza again until you do 3 days in a row, which they did on October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. They shipped on time, all of them, and so forth. And so the key thing here is that very quickly, this energized everybody in the company to agree that this was a problem we needed to fix. It also meant that the 6 or 7 people in the front office that could commit an order to a customer had to agree on a single point of control for who could commit orders. Because what was happening is salesman A would talk to a client on the phone, commit orders, commit product that was in the warehouse according to the MRP system. Then salesman B would look and see that he had that order, but the MRP system wouldn't tell him that it was late. It was committed. So anyway, the bottom line was you'd get people multiply committing to a single product that you only had one of. One of them would win, the other would lose, and their customers would lose in either case. So we fixed that by putting one man in control, single point of control, and we won. And this was a fun example of how you can use this very simple tool to energize everybody in the company to get them on board to a single goal, in this case, of shipping all orders on time. Thank you very much for your time. And if you have any questions for either Craig or I, feel free to give us a call. In closing, 567 problem solving always works with high ROI, any problem in any industry. If you want to get hold of either Craig or Len, their email and phone numbers are listed below. Again, thank you very much.